Okay, let's try this again. Well, that's going freaky. Let's see. There we go. So let's try this again. So I tried live streaming this on Tuesday, and we ran into connection issues. But I think I fixed absolutely everything. I added a attenuator on my cable line. Did some OBS changes. I know we had a hiccup yesterday on a game, but I fixed that one too. So I think we're good. So let's try this again. Try to get one day trade stream this month. But if it fucks up, then I'm going to just not come back on because I can't get distracted while that's happening. Falling Upward, thank you for the resub. Really appreciate it. Alright, so let's walk through the whole process here while we still have some time. We got 15 minutes before market opens.
Welcome to the squad, mate. Together, we rise and conquer the streaming realm like warriors. Let's dominate the game.
What's the important thing happening? There's an important thing? I mean, I do the same stuff every day. There's nothing important, today anyway.
Just crushing trades, dominating games, and enjoying life, mate. The epic journey never stops. Let's own it.
The market opens pretty turbulent, so you can make a lot of money fast, but you can also lose it pretty fast too. A lot of my losses come from just getting the open wrong and then repeating being wrong. Sometimes if I get the open wrong, I can get the reversal and I can break even and then I make money. So you gotta just watch that. So let me show the whole process. Let me do a clear chart. The first step is to pick a couple of stocks that you like to play. That's something that's going to take some time on your part just to see which stocks have the right type of movement and the right type of range to get you the amount that you need for your daily wages. And for me, that's Tesla and Nvidia. Although Tesla kind of blew up. I mean, this thing reached $350. So eventually it's going to get to the point where I'm not going to be able to get a whole bunch of size on that. It's also kind of dangerous right now because the average true range, I think, is in the 28, let me see, $26. So on average, over the last few days, it's moved $26. So if you're wrong, you can get fucked pretty fast. But I also understand the movement of this stock because I play it all the time. So the first thing I do is I take a look at the daily chart of Tesla. We're going to start on Tesla, then I'll move to Nvidia, which is my second stock. So with Tesla, I'm marking out the swing high and swing low. So if you take a look at the daily chart, you can see where support was made. The closest support was here. And this is the daily swing. So there's mini swings in every time frame. There's a swing high and swing low. So you can do this on multiple time frames. But I try to look at the daily one because that's gonna, if it ever breaches these areas, and it's gonna get pretty explosive. Or I want to know if there's gonna be a high chance of a reversal happening. So here you have it. It gapped up. It tried to test going lower. It couldn't. It held. And then it's just held that ever since. And then likewise on the upside, you had it make a high and then got rejected, and it tried to do it again, got rejected, got rejected. Today might be a little bit dangerous because we have an inside bar here. So price could get contained, especially since it's starting to slow down a little bit. It might get contained on here. It might make things a little bit choppy. So it might be a little bit of a bitch to play. We'll have to see. So if you're into loss porn, then you have a pretty good chance of seeing me lose today, so we'll see what happens. And also, I'm on the longest win streak that I've had. I have not lost this month at all, so usually I get one or two losses in between a string of victories, and then this month I have not. So, the longer I play in this, the more likely I'll get a loss. And then likewise on Nvidia, you have a swing high right around 150. It looks like it wants to grind into it and break out. It might get there next week when it has earnings on 11/20. That might be an opportunity for it to break out of this range here. But you can see here you have a swing low. So it hit this, and then it has another attempt on it, so you have a swing low right around here. It's not perfect to the dollar, it's just like a random... Not random. It's an area that you can figure support's going to occur. Some type of a bounce, like if it goes down into it, it'll bounce off. So if it ever comes back down here again, I'm gonna look to see that same thing happening, unless it breaks down, tries to retest, and then loses. So like what you'd see is something like, nope, and now, oh, you think it's gonna bounce? Nope, it gets rejected here, and then it goes down. That's what you'd look for if it's actually going to lose what I call, what we call levels. So this is a level, this is a level, resistance support. So now that you've marked out the swing on the daily, you have to choose a time frame on an intraday basis. Oh, what I meant to concentrate. So I can't, it's hard to trade and talk to people and pay attention to the stream and all that crap at the same time. I mean, at any point during trading, because you have to execute. At least with the way I do it, I don't buy like a contract and I just wait for a price to get hit. I'm active watching the candles get formed, because I do more of a scalp. If I see a good breakout, I might be able to hold it for a while, but for the most part, I have to pay attention to what I'm doing. So it makes these things tough. So I mapped out the daily time frame, support and resistance levels. Now you go on a lower time frame. So I typically do trades on the 1 minute to 5 minute level, 5 minute time frame. But when I map out levels, starting off, I try to do the 5 minute and 15 minute. So if I take a look at Tesla yesterday, obvious high right here. It tried to break it 3 times, couldn't do it, and then it fell off. Do this one with a different color. The open was support. You had a really nice bar and it killed it, so this was a level that got lost. We gotta watch out for that one. And what you see between levels is our legs. So you have like a leg up, leg down, and this leg continued. And then you either have, when you get chopped sideways, either to the upside up here or downside right here, you call it accumulation or distribution. Accumulation is if the chopping is occurring to the bottom, because that likely means that there's some buying going on, keeping the price up. And accumulation can fail, but it's also something to warn you that, hey, there might be a reversal happening. So we had some accumulation here, and eventually it tried to jump up, but it didn't actually take out any bar here. So I don't create any levels here. I create one here because it took out the low. So I'm putting that one here. Put that in a different color. And then you can see it did it again. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time, but it gets close. It's a warning sign for you to cut your trade if it gets close to these areas. And then, of course, when it bounced, it reached a high here. It couldn't break it, so this is another level as well. Just to look at it, it's not all the levels are created equal. Some of them are stronger than others, especially if they're around really nice whole numbers instead of just in between. So this one is it's around 333. This one is $333.14. But it tried to break 333 is what it's trying to tell you, and it couldn't do that. We have our levels mapped out. I do want to take a look at the pre-market to see if it's changed anything. Usually there's really low volume on pre-market, so it doesn't really tell you much all the time, but it's something to look at. So you can see what happened here when I opened up the pre-market. Basically trades that are trades from 3 o'clock to the open at 9:30. There was some movement here. I tried to reach up to 333, couldn't do it, and we got rejected. Now it's possible that I could retry it again, or what could happen is it can come back down here, it can find support and then bounce, or it could try to it could try to find support and then break and then retry and then go down. So there's a few different possibilities of things happening today, and I just gotta hope I'm on the right side fast enough to make that happen. And there's different styles of trading. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything that's super fast like what I'm doing. What does a 1 and 5 minute mean? Because you see candles pop up more often than 5 minutes or even a minute. So when you take a look at price action, there's different ways to visualize it. So in my platform that I'm using right now, I can aggregate the price action in 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute. You can do it in multiple time frames. So right here, every bar that you see is 1 minute of time passing. So this was a minute, this was a minute, this was a minute. And if you combine everything here, all 5 of these here, that's a 5 minute. So if I aggregate it by 5 minutes, everything that you just saw within that, sorry, I'll move this over here. Everything that you saw within that 1 minute period is all contained in the 5 minute bar here. So if you want to play things on a longer period of time, you can get it down to like 30 seconds. But my platform doesn't do that, but there's other platforms that can get it down to 30 seconds. Might be able to get a less, but it's probably something special, because that's, you need to be probably closer to the source, like closer to the East Coast, to really have that make sense, because you have to, there's no way you can retrieve the data that fast from the distance from where the exchanges are happening. There's going to be some type of delay. And also, if you get too low, then it's not going to make any sense. It's just going to be a lot of noise. And that's another thing you can do if there's a lot of noise, meaning if the price looks really choppy, you can aggregate it on a higher time frame and get rid of some of that noise. So if I do 15 minutes, a lot of that chopping sideways gets removed because they're contained now in 15-minute bars. And you can see the 15 minutes pretty close to the 5 minute. You can see that the level here was a little bit higher. Like if I was to redraw the levels on the 15 minute, it'd be a little bit different, but roughly the same. You need to balance between having the fidelity of data and then also removing noise, and then also making things, making things clean. So 5 minutes seems to be good. What I want to do in the morning is I want to, I can take trades in the first 2 to 3 minutes, but I have to keep that really low because the odds of it reversing are pretty high. And then once things get to the 5 minute to 15 minute range, then you can start to scale in a little bit or get a little bit more large on the size. One more thing I want to do here before the open is I want to check to see if there's any news, what we call red folder news. You can check that at forexfactory.com. It shows the oh shit, today's the federal chairman will speak later in the afternoon, so we got to worry about that. That's way later in the afternoon. So let's see, we've already had news. We had the price index and unemployment claims, so I'm gonna mark that down in my notes. I'm trying to see if there's a specific event or news that I typically lose on, so I'm marking those down to see if I perform any differently. Another thing you aren't seeing is in the background I have a Excel spreadsheet that goes through every day of trading, and I marked down like a diary, things that went right, things that went wrong, what my identified problems were, and I try to collect those and try to work on my what I perceive as a problem. Like a little while ago, I had a problem with a slow stop, meaning I'm not cutting my trades as soon as I lose fast enough. Like I'm spending too long waiting for it to work out or not. Alright, 53 seconds. I didn't even get to NVIDIA. I'm not going to talk while I do this. Essentially everything I showed you is something I do every day, and whether I win or not depends on my just my average win-loss ratio, which is 70% historically, and so this month is going to be a little bit higher. October was a disaster. I actually lost that month, but there's a lot of personal reasons why I lost that one that I fixed, hopefully, for this month, but we'll have to see. Alright, I'm gonna stick with my Tesla. We saw a pre-market, it got up here and it failed. Tesla has it's kind of flat. This might be a little bit dangerous to play Tesla because the moving average is a little bit flat. It's to the downside, but like I said, it's stuck inside of a inside bar, so a lot of the price action might get stuck in between there unless it breaks this area. So let me put a alert here. But it's always possible that it could bounce too. Thank you for the good luck. I was thinking Nvidia was gonna break the high yesterday, but it didn't. So we're in the first minute. I'm gonna bring down my aggregation to 1 minute, see what happens. So you can see Tesla did not break that 1 minute here. So it's getting close to this reversal point. It's a little bit scary. Whoops, why'd I do that? That was a mistake. Hold on. I clicked the wrong button. Alright, I made 32 bucks, but that was a mistake. Don't ignore what I did there. That was a really quick scalp that I accidentally hit buy on. And then when it bounced, I had enough time to flatten it to get 32 bucks in like a split second. So I'm trying to see if this thing will hold. This is the support level that I marked out earlier. So it hit that. So now I want to see if it'll take out this initial bar. Then we'll know if the low is in or not, or we have a high probability. So here it is. It bounces off of that support level, like we marked out. It's leaving a tail. It can always fail here. Or it can make another low and then kind of reverse it. There's a lot of shit that can happen here before it gets situated. Imagine thousands of people glued to the screens, yeah? And most of those people will lose. It's just the way that the market works. So, Nvidia too, see how we marked out? You saw me marked out the support and resistance levels is bouncing off of there too. You don't know what's going to happen, but there's a high probability of some type of a bounce occurring, so that's why I did that. This looks a little bit nasty at the moment. Okay, let's see if it comes back down a little bit and kind of holds. This could be a dangerous day. So to be really comfortable, it needs to break the high or the low here. If it breaks the low here, we could probably be more comfortable shorting, but even if it breaks the high here, there's so much crap from yesterday that it has to deal with that it's probably going to get stuck somewhere. And then I have the futures here. It's kind of giving me an overall sense of how the broad market is doing. It's not completely accurate for that, but when you think about the combined values of things like Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Tesla, kind of being factored in, it's kind of giving me a gauge of what's going on. So it doesn't have to happen on everything, because some things have breakouts and some things just don't behave that same way. So this is a moment of truth here. So this is the break of the high. We have to see if it holds this and creates a level here, and this would be a 1 minute level until the 5 minute candle gets created. The futures thing is on the left side right here. This is a different chart that I'm looking at, just to gauge overall market health. The blue line is the same thing, like the daily resistance level. Same thing I did before, but with the futures. Okay, so Nvidia has Nvidia has left a large tail here, but it hasn't broken any resistance line. So I'm gonna put this up here. We have the first 5 minutes done. Also, I'm trying to talk and do all this other shit at the same time, so I'm not gonna be as aggressive as I might be. Nvidia's still in a nasty situation. Still stuck within the first 5 minutes. Tesla's out of there. That has overhead resistance to deal with. Let's see if it can retest this, because usually if it breaks a support or resistance level, I want to see it retest in order to feel completely comfortable that it's going to hold and move up higher. The other thing is it hasn't moved very much today. The percentage of range, it's only moved 24% of what we can really expect out of this. So if it comes back down here and it leaves like a tail bar, we might want to try going long. But there's another possibility for it to fail either up here or up here, so we gotta watch that as well. Unless it wants to try to, this is me flipping to the daily time frame, unless it wants to like, you know, kind of show that it's showing support and wants to kind of break the, oops, this is the wrong chart. It wants to show support and kind of break up higher, but it's still inside the complete daily range, so it's still really dangerous to get super aggressive on this. Okay, here's the reversal. Possible reversal. You know, I'd like to see this thing pull back a little bit, but this is kind of a support play too. I would have liked to see it come back in a little bit more and then bounce, but this could also be it as well. So essentially I do the same exact thing every day. Sometimes I'm more aggressive than others depending on how things show up, but this is a kind of a dangerous day because we're inside and we're kind of flopping about. We had that euphoria from the Trump being elected, the presidential elections clearing out, and we ran up hard, but now we're kind of stuck. And we pulled back for a couple of days, but now we're kind of stuck, or we're getting the new baseline situated. And this is where you can get chopped out. You can see Nvidia still within that first 5 minutes. It hasn't gone anywhere. Tesla has a possibility, but it's still stuck in a greater inside range. Keep wanting to go long here, but I feel like as soon as I do, it's gonna wipe my butt. Possible 1 minute level, you'll see this one in red. What the higher the time frame, the stronger the support and resistance is, because there's more price action to make up for that. Okay, so either we're gonna bounce here or it's gonna die. If it dies, what we'll see is something like a breakdown, retest. Otherwise, it'll go reverse. All right, I'm gonna try this, see what happens. This didn't close. Ideally, you want to wait for a close. You can see it already wiped out my $35 pretty fast with this stock. Because Tesla moves $28, man. So we want to see this thing break. If this is going to have any hope of going higher, it's going to want to break. I'm going to get ready to flatten if it can't do the thing. So here's another retest. The market itself is giving it up, so this may not hold. The open might not hold here. Alright, I'm gonna have to give that up until I see otherwise. So this is that was a losing trade. You want to see it do that, but it looks like it's gonna lose. So I lost it. Alright, I'm gonna try to go to the downside here. But it has support here, so now it has to eat all the way down here and then break. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else I can do here. It's also a possibility that I can still retest up and then break up. But let's see if I can get anything out of this. Okay, took out half. Just to reduce my losses a little bit. I'm likely gonna have to do multiple entries here. So we're back right into the first 5-minute range. You can see how that's showing in the 15-minute candle. This is my 15-minute charts on both of these. It's all inside that same 15-minute bar. This is where it gets fucking dangerous, man. It gets, real shitty. Alright. So let's see if it makes a low here. Let's see if it stops and then makes like an inside, an inside swing low and then moves up higher. But we want to see a break of the high of the low here. We got 4 more minutes before the first 15-minute candle's done. Right now, I mean, it's within the first 15-minute candle on both stocks, which isn't good. So what I want to see here is a retest and then rejection to the low, because this was a pretty strong start, but it might just dump too. The market is dumping. Let me look at Tesla real quick. So Tesla's about to die. This might be a little bit too late. Let's see. This is a strong bar, but it's going up against support here. So let's see if I lose this one. Now, if this gets taken out, I'm definitely fucked, but I'm looking to see if this breaks, and it didn't break this, so this is a little bit early. We'll see what happens. If it comes back down here and bounces, then we're definitely, fucked. Yeah, it's getting a little bit too strong. So we knew that was a possibility. Typically what I should have done is I should have waited for this thing to break and then retest and lose. So this thing just totally reversed my bar here. And we're still stuck in the first 15-minute range, so I'm down. I'm down today. Like I said, it might get a little bit tricky. Let me put... We still have room. I'm only down 200, so not too bad. So you bounced here, you went there. Man, that's quite a breakdown. Let's see it do it again. Let's see if it breaks down. Might do it in a little bit higher size. But it's still stuck within that first 15-minute candle. That's what's a little bit of a bitch. It's a choppy inside day like I was worried about. Okay. Partial takeout. See where this closes. 10 seconds. Get some profit out of the way. Target would be this red line here, if it actually is going to go to target. I'm positive now. Tesla's still going up. Gotta worry about that. Okay, Nvidia is running up again. So this is it's another test of its support line. Alright, we only got a little bit back, but that, we're roughly in the same place we were before. I took out half, but then this other half, this thing is, that reversal is a little bit too strong. So we're at 15 minutes now, but we're still stuck within that damn fucking range. So this is like what I said. I can see when certain days are gonna get really bullshitty. But we're closer to the downside than we are on the upside at this point. Alright, come back into the orders here, baby. Alright. Need you to close low there. They're bouncing again. No, 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 no. Get down there, bitch. You broke the level. You have to make a new level. It's probably going to be a little bit. Okay. Alright, positive on Nvidia. There's too much chop for me in there. I gotta work on Tesla now. Tesla's probably gonna be the way to get profitable today. Although Nvidia is getting really close to the target right now, which is this line. It's at 58% of its range. Tesla's barely moved today. So I'm going to focus everything on Tesla. We have a little bit of money in Nvidia just to break even. I was down 160, I think, on it. But now we're up on that one. Yeah, I should put a timber sound when things roll over on one of those levels. Tesla's still stuck in the first 15-minute candle. Man, things are bitches. Apple's up. So if Apple's up like that, then it's kind of hard for the rest of the market to just tank. It makes up so much of the NASDAQ. Here are some of these lines. Still light size on Tesla, but light size on this is still pretty big. It can still blow you the fuck out. But it's barely moved, man. If it goes down to the downside, target would be here. Upside is way up here. Seems like it wants to break, but it still has... I mean, it could bounce on support multiple times here, so I gotta watch myself. I don't think this is going to be a $600 to $1,000 day if I do make it, though, because it's just kind of shitty. But you're going to have lots of days like this, too, not just breakout days, so you're going to have to learn how to trade. And you don't have to trade every single day. Some people wait for, like, the perfect setup, or what they think is a perfect setup, and then they just trade on those days. But your perfect setup can also get invalidated pretty fast, so I just trade every day, because I do the same levels thing no matter what. Alright, this thing is coming back up. Let's see if it gets taken out. If it doesn't, I'll flatten myself. I'll probably be down $200 or so. I can see the market starting to bounce and retest, so this might be its opportunity to get back up. Very lethargic move. So we're having double tails on the 15-minute bar. So I gotta watch out for an explosive move upside, and I'll flatten. Yeah, it's about to invalidate me. This is already taking out the, let's see what this next bar says. Get ready to flatten. Alright, so it's not dying yet. So I'm still down $200. We got double tails on the 15-minute. If I zoom in on the left corner here, you can see the initial 15-minute bar. You got the second 15-minute bar kind of stuck in here. So we gotta wait for this thing to either gain a level and go up, or just break decisively, because right now it's just fucking around. Now, the good thing with Tesla is that you can make out that 200 pretty fast. Because I've done such a light size, just tiptoeing. This is a bitch day. But I might lose, might break my win streak here. Alright, so this is doing that. Yeah, but it could bounce multiple times until it breaks this, but it could also break it. So you don't know if it's gonna break and then continue, or if it's gonna break, retest, and then go down. But it's all on the inside bar, right? So... Alright, I'm gonna try this again. Alright. Tap down. Going to the support point, possibly trying to break it. Let's see what happens here. Depending on how it reacts. Alright, don't let me down, baby. Pretty strong bar to be useful in a break. There we go. We're up $200. Come back in, baby. That's a pretty good break, but, you know, anything can happen, but I'm still on the downside. Got my trigger finger on flatten just in case it reverses harshly. But we finally broke the 15-minute bar. Target is down here. Doesn't always reach target, but I have a pretty healthy target, which is 70% of the average shear range, so 70% of what I think the stock moves every day, that's the target. So I'm not expecting the moon, and I'm not expecting it to reach fully its entire movement rate. Gotta get worried a little bit. I thought I took out half, but I guess I didn't, so... Talk that up to me. missing some fine details due to worrying about too much shit. Okay, so now we've taken out half of our order. We're up 200. Well, we were up 240 in Tesla anyway. We have $30 or something in Nvidia, right? 28. And you can see Nvidia just bounced, so now it's above it. So that's a real annoying piece of shit, fucker. Same thing might happen in Tesla too. We gotta worry about that. So let's get geared up, dialed in. Because it broke support, so I'm expecting a retest and then a fail. Alright, still going. It's gonna retest, I'm sure, before it goes down again, just because how choppy this shit was. Okay. If it happens to take out this bar, that's gonna be a complete flat out until I can see some resistance again. Let's put up a warning sign. Come on, bitch. Yeah, the target's derived based off of the... This is my own strategy. I don't think anyone else teaches that. I haven't seen it. But based on your notes, you might find some small details that nobody else uses just because of the nature of the stocks that you play. And for me, it's the average true range. So what it's most likely to hit on a given day, I have that as those targets. And there's days where it greatly overshoots, and there's days where it just didn't even get there. So you just have to be right, but then you know how right you can be before you really start looking to not trade anymore on that day. Alright, it's looking like it's gonna bounce here, get ready to flatten. You can see the market start to retest as well, but it broke a pretty significant level here, so let's see. It might pop to just be a vindictive little bitch. We'll see. Okay, come back in, baby. Go back down, motherfucker. Go back fucking down.
Stay sharp, mate. Keep grinding, adapting, and conquering the challenges that come your way. You're a trading warrior.
Thank you, Jupiter. Looking for the low to get breached. This does not look like a reversal point for this stock. We're just waiting for this reversal to happen. It's kind of being weak here. But anything can happen. You're just on your toes while you're doing this. If you're doing it on this small time frame. Let me go up to the 5 minutes, see what's happening. So you lost the 5-minute trend level. You have a new level here. You can kind of ignore yesterday's, but I'm going to keep it there just in case something happens. Alright, this is bouncing a little bit. It needs a really strong bar to the downside right now. It's just being lethargic. This could be accumulation. Oh, sorry, it is accumulation, but we need to see if accumulation fails. Right now it hasn't proven itself anywhere. But I see a sharp move. I'm gonna have to flatten and wait for it to come back up here and do some retests. Come on, baby, break the low, break the low. Breaking the low, breaking the low. Bam, bam. position. Trailing. Kind of regret not going more of a size, but you can see how dangerous it was earlier. I lost twice before getting something consistent here. What did Nvidia do? Nvidia, holy fuck, see what happened with Nvidia? Full reversal on Nvidia. We gotta watch out what's gonna happen here. Getting ready to flatten out on Tesla. But yeah, if you're short into Nvidia, you're gonna have your asshole examined now. Nvidia is probably a good long at this point. Alright. I'm cutting out Tesla until it breaks this low again, because right now it's a little bit too strong. I might try to do a retest here. Now if it breaks this low again, I'm gonna go short. Oops. But that abrupt stop was a bit of a worry. Maybe? Give me some follow through here.
Markets flipping and flopping, mate. Ride those waves, analyze like a pro, and conquer the uncertain seas of trading. Let's win big.
Alright, left a tail. What's Nvidia doing? Alright, so we're gonna get a little bit of a bounce in Tesla, looks like, as well. You gotta worry about when you see that type of shit. So Nvidia... Damn, look at that shit. Holy fuck.
3 up downs, mate. Sounds like a roller coaster. Ride it like a champion. Analyze the patterns.
Might be able to do a
conquer the
scalp
trading
long
chaos.
on Tesla, but it's a little bit risky. Neither stock has hit their ATR, although Nvidia is really close to getting there. It might have a reset. It might pull back too, but this looks like it's going to be upwards for the rest of the day.
Nvidia's playing.
It fell
games.
upwards.
Mate. Watch those levels, plan your move, and strike when the time's right. Let's ride the downfall like pros.
I'm not reading chat for a second. I gotta hone in on this. Let's see. It broke the high. It looks like it's holding. It wants to go higher.
The trading battlefield is full of surprises and opportunities. Stay focused, adapt, and conquer like a legend. Damn straight. Pump up the trading energy with those epic emotes. Let's rock the markets with style and dominance.
I like to see Nvidia do a reset down here. Look at that. See, that's why we got out of Tesla. I want to see Tesla fail up here. This is a little bit risky. I am playing the high break. Could get wiped out on it, but let's see. It's so close to its target here. Yep. There, I hit target during the day. Let's see here. What am I up today? Let me look at the... my broker statement, because I do pay transaction fees, and sometimes that just causes a discrepancy between my wins in trading, wins that I see on my platform and what actually is realized. So I'm up 313 right now. It's been a half hour, so I'd say that's pretty good for a half hour. There's people that make way more than I do.
Mate. Keep an eye on those costs,
So,
strategize, and maximize
you know, don't get focused on what people are making, because everyone makes
those fees.
different. Like, I've seen people make $17,000, and that's way out of my, level right now. But small gains, and then you scale, and do the same fucking thing over and over and over again. Have the
dive into the world of highlights, music, and legendary
shit on your
moments on
side.
Dragon Divide's YouTube channel.
I'd like to get 500. 500 a day keeps the day job away, and even 500 is pretty good for a lot of people. I mean, I'd like to make 500 a day. If I could guarantee 500 a day, I'd like it. Might be the pullback we're looking for.
Aim high.
But why did it choose this? There's nothing up here, right?
Trade like a boss, and stack up that cash to reach the top. Let's make those dreams a reality.
It's not really a level. I mean, the level be up here, but there is a lot of resistance. Alright, let's see if I lose it all. Market's pulling back as well. Okay, a little bit of cash here. But if it gets down to maybe here, we can look at a new swing low. We need to look for the new swing low, because it's obvious it doesn't want to go. It's probably not
The market
gonna
is wild.
wipe itself
Strap in,
out here.
Analyze the twists and turns, and ride the
So we're
roller
looking for a
coaster
new
to
swing low.
profit town.
Right now we have a
Let's
swing
conquer the
high,
theme
a 1
park.
minute swing high. We got a swing low down here. I'm looking for a new swing low when it resets next. And for Tesla, I'm looking for this bitch to die. But it may not. $500 a day would make you rich. Well, if you do that top step program and you pass the evaluations, if you're paying, I think, $100 a month, you can get roughly the same buying power that I have. But you don't even need that. You can, you know, do one of their $50 a month things and borrow their capital. It might be worth a shot, but keep in mind most people lose doing this because there's just too many factors. There's a human factor that just fucks you. And impatience and all kinds of things that can go against you. Well, I've been doing this for almost 6 years now. Finally did the full-time switch last October. Had a decent year, but I didn't make as much as I did on my day job because I had enough. I had 2 losing months, but I won 10 out of 12, so it kept me in there. But now that I'm on year 2, I'm hoping to do better. And so far, it's starting off pretty damn good because I haven't lost yet. But I always factor in 4 or 5 losses a month to keep that win percentage the same. But I am looking for a breakout month, and this might be it.
Hell yeah. Dive into the treasure trove of collectibles, games, and toys at Dragon Divide. Let's level up your collection game.
Thanks for the plug. Thought I told him not to read those, but yeah, I think it's more personal to see it happen. So that was kind of a dangerous short. It didn't... Still on top of the moving average. It hasn't actually broken yet. Alright, so that now it broke. Badiba, diva, badiba. Alright. We want a nice solid bar to the downside here. See if I can get 500 on camera today. Okay, the dangerous part is if it bounces here and decides not to go any lower, which is quite highly possible, but it's gone nowhere today. It's been 37% of its range, as you can see in this green bar here. So my bet is that there's going to be more movement to be had. Now I'm losing. See if that's just a quick takeout of some stops here or not, if there's going to be some movement. The lowest I've seen Tesla is 35, so actually this is more than what I've seen at the lowest point. So it doesn't have to go any lower, but most likely it will. At some point it'll break this low. But we'll see if I'm right at the end of the day. I am going to have a winning day because I'm not going to risk too much right now, so we're going to lock in these gains and I'm going to continue my win streak. It just may not be a very big win streak. Or a very big win today, sorry. Yesterday, it was 508, 734 the day before, and then 1600 the day before that. So I've had a really good month, but anything can happen. You just need to not be stupid. Need to break this candle here. It hasn't had a decisive move yet. There we go. Need to break below and close. You got 8 seconds. Okay, break the low. You've now broken the low. Proceed to your next point. Target goal is down here. Alrighty. What am I up now? Almost 500. If we can get it just a little bit lower here, we'll be done for the day, and I'm gonna go play Call of Duty. Come on, bitch! So let's see if it makes a new swing low here, finally, or if it actually will break down. I'm guessing a breakdown, because we haven't moved all that much today, but let's see what happens. Market's still flirting with breaking its low as well. We just need this thing to go a little bit lower, and then we're done for the day. So let's see what happens. Come on, baby. I don't want to add or do anything at this point. I just want this thing to reach its conclusion one way or another. Okay, it's not doing its thing. Getting a little bit too much of a bounce up here. Get ready to flatten. This isn't a logical place to bounce yet, but we gotta be wary. It's having a hard time grinding lower today. It was stuck in that initial 15-minute range for a half hour before it finally broke. So you can see that there's patience too, and you might miss your entry. That's why it's hard to stream this stuff, at least the way that I do it. So that's why I don't like to do it, because I have too much shit to worry about. But I just wanted to prove to you what I do every single day, even if I'm not showing it. Come on, baby. Let's make a new low, and then I'm done. Okay, we can't have you leave a tail bar there. We need to have a decisive move. You have so much room to go lower now. I mean, you barely moved today, man. So come on in, eat this order, and we're done. I don't have to look at you. We don't have to talk to each other anymore. Just get down
Roll
there.
those dice, mate. Take the risk, play smart, and conquer the game like a pro gambler. Let's hustle for those wins.
Come on, baby. Just get down there. You're being such a hesitant little fuck. Break down, goddammit. So we're forming in another accumulation area here. Hopefully it doesn't grind too long. I'm looking for a break, but this thing is holding much longer than I want it to. I need you to make a new low, and then we're done. Come on, man. You're only a few cents away. Having a hard time breaking 318.50. Come on, bitch. All right. $519, so that's my process end to end. 500 a day keeps the day job away. So there you go. So 420. 420? Oh, 426, okay. 426 in Tesla. 111.79 in Nvidia. We could play this thing more, but let's count our blessings from being stuck in shop. So there you go, motherfuckers. You fucking doubt me? I explained the whole fucking thing, beginning to end. I told you where shit was gonna go, and then we placed our bets. I hate the gambling analogy, but I just used one. Because it's possibility versus probability. You have probability in gambling, and the house has the edge, but here it's possibility. Very slight difference in terms, but important. Because this game, you know, you don't have like the defined set of cards. It changes a bit all the time, and you make your plays with a reasonable expectation. But there's many plays to be made. All right, that's the end of the day trade portion. Any questions now that I'm not going to trade anymore? We're going to keep the win streak going. And so that was $500 in an hour and a half, so there you go. Now, a lot of people are doing the same thing that I am when they're, you know, if they have experience, they're doing very similar things. I think we all kind of do very similar things. But just depends on what day it is and you managing your stops. Some people play a lot more dangerous things like penny stocks, which you can have like a $20,000 day, but then you can also have really bad days where you lose that, so... I do something I do the large caps because you're not going to have those wild swings. It's more predictable, and I'd rather scale my account size on predictability, so that 500 will eventually be 1,000 a day, and so on and so forth. And I have a reasonable expectation of things not being a penny stock like where it just wipes up and down, manipulated. Because these companies are huge, so. You're not gonna have things swayed by news or anything like that. And now we're getting a big breakdown. So I left some money on the table, but considering the difficulty that we had this morning, I mean, I should be happy because now I have the whole rest of the day to do whatever the fuck I want. And that's what you want to, where you want to be. First goal 500 is hit, and I can always play for more, but not today, man. That inside bar shit is garbage. And look what happened with Nvidia. So if you were betting on the downside after that really strong candle to the downside, you just got your ass whooped. Look at that. But we knew where support was, but it swiped low below support much more than we would have expected. Like, it went way past this point. But you can see where the reactions are possibly going to happen, and then you just have to keep your sphincter closed and hope for the best sometimes. I'll wait for any other questions. I don't think I want to play a game, but I don't want to do it on this VOD because I think we explained everything. This is kind of like a nice tight VOD showing the process and then what to do on a relatively... There's days that are more difficult, but today, considering how long it played inside of a range, it was a little bit more difficult than a lot of other days. And then you can see like a full reversal in Nvidia where the initial 15-minute candle got taken out. So I'm gonna hold here for any questions, and then I'll switch to Call of Duty. I'll stop the stream and switch. Wow, 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 winnie, winnie, winnie. Also this afternoon we have the Federal Reserve Chairman speaking, and that can cause some crazy movements. So at least we're getting out before that shit happens. And that one's at 3 p.m. East.
Ride the hype wave, mate. Channel that energy, embrace the excitement, and conquer the challenges like a true warrior. Let's rock it.
Alright, I guess that's it. So I'm gonna stop this stream, and then I'm gonna come back on to play some Black Ops multiplayer for a bit. I will be back, but we have a pretty good self-contained story on this VOD for people to watch. But if this was an easier day, if we had a good 15-minute breakout and then like a retest or something, then I would have been a lot more aggressive. So you gotta know when you can kind of drive your dick in and when you just need a finger bang. So today was a finger bang. Sorry I expressed things in very lewd ways, but had to be safe today. Wow, that's a... man, Nvidia's having some pretty crazy movements today. I would have expected it to chop a little bit and then wait for a moving average to kind of reach up to that point, but now it's just taking out that 15-minute bar, so even if you have a long side bounce, it might not be that big. I wonder if Tesla will reach that target, but we're already done. Man, it was stuck in that damn range for a while. Let's take a look at it on the daily. It broke. See, that was another thing here too, because it hit that this 15-minute support range twice, and then it finally broke through. And then once it broke through, it's really gushing down. But it didn't look that way. It tried to retest. It failed. And then I got in again here. And it was starting to accumulate here, so it was not as smooth as it was. Alright. One more minute for questions, and then I will jump on to something else. Yeah, look at that. This is a bitch to play. You can play it, but it's doing this accumulation thing right now where it's not really breaking down, breaking up. You know, there's always a possibility of it trying to retest here and then having like a collapse in the afternoon. Or it could collapse here. It could fail here as well. But this is just no momentum again. Had no momentum in the morning, then it did. We got a few scalps in, so I lost my first two trades and I was down $200, and then I reversed it to plus 519. But you got to see how I handle losses as well. So you got a little bit of everything. It's actually a pretty good stream. Although it would have been really nice to get that $1,600 day from earlier this week recorded. I was streaming, but I kept getting disconnected, so I couldn't keep the thing going. I recorded everything on my computer, but it's not live anymore if I just show it to you. Alright, I don't see any questions, so I guess you guys know everything. I will be back in a few minutes. I'm gonna piss. I'm gonna make a burrito, then I'm gonna play some Call of Duty. Alright, good day. I mean, not the biggest day, but you know, I want to hit that $500 target just to be confident and comfortable with myself. Because you gotta figure you're gonna lose, right? So even if you made that $500, you might lose it the following day, but we've had a really good month so far, so you got to make sure that whatever your goal is, you're offsetting your expected number of losses in order to meet your bills each month. Alrighty, I'll be back. Just let me piss and make something to eat.